Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this webinar today at lunchtime. So we're very happy to have you here for this EMBA X info session today. We are going to look today at the curriculum, the program structure, organization, as well as class profile, so who is in the cohort, and then we'll go through admission, administrative topics, and a Q&A in the end. So there is a Q&A field. Please put all of your questions in that field, and then we will go through your questions then in the end. You also see that this meeting will be recorded. This info session is recorded, so we will gonna reach out to you after as well and share the recording with you as well. Okay. Perfect. So my name, to start with, is Teyuna Giga. I work at the University of St.Gallen as a recruitment manager for the EMBA X program. I am joined here today by Anna. Anna, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Teyuna. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome from my side as well. My name is Ana Procopio, and I'm based at ETH. So I'm very glad to be here with you and Teyuna today to introduce you to the program. And this is a special session as we are presenting for the first time redesigned version of the program and also with brand new features.
Perfect. And we'll start. So let's first talk about this partnership, but let's have a look at the two universities. So EMBA X really brings together the best of Swiss technology from ETH and best of Swiss leadership from the University of St. Gallen. To start with, the University of St. Gallen. So it is a business university, very much focused on economics, law, and business, entrepreneurship, and it's why it was originally also called Handelshochschule St. Gallen. So HSG for short, which you might have seen before as well. The University of St. Gallen is the leading business school in the German-speaking region, #1 business school in Switzerland. Of course, then also our international executive MBA program that is in the portfolio is also ranked #1 in Switzerland, and #11 in Europe as well. The University of St. Gallen is also very proud to have the Triple Crown accreditation, which is accreditation that only about 2% of the business schools worldwide do have. So Anna, I will hand over to you to introduce ETH.
Yeah, gladly. So ETH is one of the two federal universities in Switzerland, for those who don't know. So together with the EPFL in Lausanne, we form the federal universities in the country. We are especially known in natural sciences and engineering fields, but we also have highly ranked departments of social and management sciences. So ETH counts today with over 25,000 students from over 120 countries, and 1/3 of them are female. So we are slowly getting there. ETH is regularly ranked among the 10 best universities in the entire world, and our members have received several international prizes, including 22 Nobel Prizes throughout the history. So EMBA X is hosted by the DMTech, that is the Management Technology and Economics Department, and together with other 15 departments, we form the core structure of ETH. Additionally, we have several competence centers and also centers of excellence, including, for example, the AI Center and also the Energy Center that are very, very important currently. And the executive director of both centers are part of the faculty at the EMBA X. So the EMBA X was founded with the mission around 5 years ago was to offer a tech-driven degree designed for future-proof leaders. And is based on 4 pillars, as we say it, but grounded on a very innovative personal development program that runs throughout the 18 months of the journey. As we mentioned before, the first pillar is, of course, that we stand on the excellent reputation of the two partner universities, right? We offer, on top of this, a joint degree. That is, we bridge really the best of the business school, as Teyuna mentioned before, and all the aspects of a technical and natural science university. our students benefit not only from one community, right, but they benefit from the alumni and all the structure and infrastructure from both institutions. The management of technology is at the core of our program, but it's still, of course, it's an executive MBA, so it's a general management degree with the focus on developing the skills of managing technology. But not only that, so we search for leaders that have an active role in dealing with the complexity of societal challenges that we face today and do it in a responsible and sustainable way. And then lastly, we have, of course, what also is a feature of our program, that is the Swissness, right? We stand for high quality, we stand for innovativeness, and also in this current exchange with the world. This is, in a nutshell, what our program is about. We offer, as I mentioned before, it's a joint degree that it's called Executive MBA, ETH Zurich, and University of St. Gallen, with a total of 75 credits. The format is on campus, mainly in Zurich and St. Gallen, so we alternate between the locations, and we have 13 modules in total. So we start with the first module, that is the Y week, and we finish with the X week. In between, we have 11 modules that take place from Wednesday to Saturday. This comes up with a total of 56 days in class, but out of office, so excluding the Saturdays, you need a 42 days out of office. We, as I mentioned before, the program lasts for 18 months. So we always started in February, very in the beginning of the February, and we run until the July the following year. So the next cohort that we are recruiting for starts on the February 27. And among the many topics that we cover in the program, here you can see a few examples, right? The adaptive cognitive leadership, let's say foundational topics as strategy innovation, but also corporate finance. And we also have very advanced topics as, AI-driven technologies, decision-making under uncertainty, and also we offer you for the first time selected joint electives that you can customize your path and also customize the content according to your needs and your preferences. Here you can see in our storytelling way to show you the journey, right? So you go through all the steps of the mountain, of this mountaineering journey. You can see also on the top of the slides the month where they take place. So as I mentioned before, you have the 13 modules along these 18 months, and then we have the company impact project and the personal development program running throughout all those modules, or the many of those modules. Here you can see an example of the joint electives that we are offering. From the St. Gallen side, we offer topics as coding and artificial intelligence if you really want to get more on the technical side of AI, but we also offer opportunities for you to do module abroad, right? I mean, in the main core curriculum of the EMBA X, as I mentioned before, all the modules take place either in St. Gallen or Zurich, but with the electives, you have the chance to go for the international modules, for example, in Latin America, or doing marketing management, the marketing management elective in New York, for example, and also other emerging economies, for example, like the South Africa. From the ETH Zurich, we focus then really on the more, as I mentioned before, the management of technologies. So we have new technologies like quantum, but also, generative AI with the focus on sustainable business value, AI technology entrepreneurship, and also sustainable finance, for example. And then we offer also very much customized electives for the EMBA X, that's the leadership for impact. So the electives, those and or other ones are will be available to you to join according to your schedule and according to your needs and preferences. Of course, they are offered in collaboration with the two universities, and also it will be depending on the availability, of course, but we will discuss this once you get into the program. This is an overview of the program calendar. You're going to have this calendar in detail when you further talk to us, to Teuno, or you have the materials of this program. You can see that we give you the program calendar to facilitate your planning, also the management, your family, and also the conversations with your stakeholders and your employers. And you also see where those modules take place. We always talk about the building blocks of the EMBA X, right? So you might be asking yourself, okay, I saw a little bit of the topics, we saw the journey, but what are the content of those modules? We divide them in a very simple way of 3 elements. The essential courses, so those are the courses that take place along these 11 modules that we say, so they all have the same format. I'm going to give you an example in a minute. Then we have the personal development program that, as I showed you in the journey, it has modules that go from the very first phase of the program until the very last week, until the X week. And then we have 2 main projects. Of course, we have projects or smaller projects taking place within the essential courses, but we also have the main projects that I'm also going to give you some more information in a minute. So this is the typical essential module, as I mentioned before, right? This is, let's say, the Y week and the X week. They have a slightly different module, but they are basically the same. So you have the 3 days of courses. In this case, just for example, we are showing you a very known and very beloved course of our program, that is the Energy Management, Technology and Economics, from Wednesday to Friday. Then you have on Saturday, you have an X lab, that is the leadership skills lab that I'm also going to give you more details in a second. And then in the evening, we have optional activities. So we have we always have a social event. So this is really opportunity for you to network with your peers, but also we offer social events with other programs, with other cohorts, also from the EMBA X, but also from the International MBA from St. Gallen, or from the MBA from ETH. And then on Thursday or Friday, we normally have either fireside chats with executives, or we have career workshops, or we have peak performance modules. This is how the most of our modules look like. So the EMBA X project, as I mentioned, there is the 3rd pillar, if you want, or the 3rd element of the program. We have two main of those projects. The first one is a sustainability and impact project. This is a group project. So we partner up with real organizations. So for example, Freitag, if you are from Zurich region or from Switzerland, you know the organization very well. And we work with other organizations in challenges that they have, for example, in circular economy or any other sustainability related challenge. So our groups, our students work directly, each one of them with one company in solving their challenge. The company impact project, on the other hand, is an individual assessment. So the company impact project is actually what in a conventional MBA or executive MBA would be your master thesis. So we don't have an academic master thesis per se. We do it in a very applied project, right? Really with the intention for you to integrate all this knowledge that you have acquired 1 year along the program. That's when we started. We start a company impact project at the end of your 1st year in the program, and then you have the chance in a mix of peer coaching sessions, in-class sections, but also guest lectures to work along your project and to deliver at the end of the program your impact project. The personal development plan. We really call it a base camp. If you recall the first slide that I show you on the pillars, it's really on the foundational, it's the grounding level, let's say. And what we say is the base camp, because the personal development program is really designed and implemented in a way that give you these skills, the behavioral skills that you need, the leadership skills you need to go through all these challenges, to go through all these different topics and specific subjects that we go and tackle the challenge along the program. So we divide the personal development program in three also elements. The individual development journey and careers is really about more focus on you identifying what are your strengths, what are your leadership capabilities, how you want to develop, what kind of skills you want to develop, right? So when we do this with a range of workshops, a full 360 assessment, and also with the career workshops that in the case that you want to reflect on your career, right, that you have the option to do this too. The second element of the personal development program is what we call the X Labs. They are full day workshops where we really focus on this building skills. So they are very much developed under evidence and based a lot in neuroscience, on the latest developments in neuroscience. And we want to give you let's say the higher cognitive skills, but also emotional and social skills, and also what we call integrative skills. So we go from cognitive flexibility, that is very a micro skill, as we call it, and then when we go until negotiation or even integrative complexity, that is how you think in systems, right? So all those skills or all those labs, they take place along, each one of them along the 18 months of the journey, as I give you example in the example week. And third, this is the module that is actually on a voluntary basis, although our students appreciate them a lot. It's really what we call a peak performance insight. So we help you, we give you the tools for you to be the best you can be, so the best version of yourself. So it's really about learning to manage your physical, but also your mental health, about giving you a very thorough assessment of your physical conditions, and also a lot of workshops to discuss about your purpose, but also skills as presenting yourself, how do you present yourself to the world, and how you reflect on yourself as well. So this is, in a nutshell, the personal development program that we are very proud, and we have been developing it along all these years of the EMBA X. So now
Perfect.
I'm gonna hand over to Tayuna to talk about the admissions criteria and what you need to show to if you want to join us.
Thank you so much, Anna. Here on the slide, you can see the admission criteria that are needed for EMBA X. So what we need you to have is a recognized undergraduate degree, 10 years of work experience as a minimum, and 5 years of leadership experience as a minimum, and fluency in English. So you do not have to provide a certification for English. However, it will be assessed as you go through the admission process. Here we are going to go what the admission process looks like. So the first step is always to get in touch, to join one of our online info sessions, for example. And if you want to send us your CV and talk to us, we're happy to, go through it, go through your CV and see if this is the right fit for you. If you decide to you want to go for it, the first step will be an online application. So there we need you to upload your CV, your diplomas, your transcripts, the impact reflection essay, and 2 references as well. Once that is done, and we check your online application, if everything is successful, you will be invited to complete the online assessment, which includes a cognitive test and an asynchronous video interview. This takes up to 90 minutes in total to complete. The 4th stage will then be an online interview Once we receive your assessments, we are going to go through it. If everything is successful, then you will be invited to an online live interview with somebody from the team. That usually takes between 30 to 45 minutes. And once that is completed, everything will be sent to the admission committee. They will review all of the steps you have completed and conduct a final review of your whole application dossier, and then we'll inform you ASAP on the decision of the committee. We also do offer tuition incentives, as we call them. We have these 5 different categories that you can see here, that you can attach an essay to your online application. So the first step that we need you to complete. If you feel like you contribute to the peer learning experience, to the cohort because of your expertise in one of those 5 categories, you can attach an essay stating how you contribute, and the admission committee will then review this as well when they review your profile and decide whether a tuition incentive then will be given and then deducted from the tuition. The average cohort composition. So here we're going to show you some statistics on what the cohorts have looked like, what it could look like. The average age is 41 years. The average work experience is 17 years. The leadership experience in average is around 12 years. We have usually around 35% of female students. And then here you can also see the top 3 roles and top 3 industries that we've had so far as well. So building a global network, you can see here, how a network looks like. We have a lot of different nationalities always represented within our different cohorts. So it is a very diverse, very international cohort always. We are super, super proud of that. You will have a very, very international experience. You'll be staying in Switzerland, but you can see here it is an incredibly diverse and international cohort always. Here you can also see some of the industry landscape. So this is, of course, a non-exhaustive list also of companies that we have represented. But yeah, you can also see here that there's a high variety of industries, and it's something that we always have a very good look at. Our committee always looks at that there is always a good balance also in the cohort in terms of industries. Something else that we are incredibly proud of is the community. So as we said before, as an EMBA X student, you are part of both alumni networks. So you are part of ETH and you are part of the University of St.Gallen. So two incredibly valuable and influential alumni networks here in Switzerland. At the University of St.Gallen, it actually works that way that you are already part of the alumni network as a student. So from the start of the program, you are already part of. At ETH, it is then upon graduation. What we also have is that from the moment that you sign your study agreement with us, you get access to our own EMBA X Connect platform. There you will be connected with your peers, with alumni, engaging in peer coaching. There's mentorship opportunities to then also really stay informed about the events that are happening. So we always have throughout the year various different community events, networking events happening. So you will always stay informed when you are part then also of that platform and the ecosystem. There are two important deadlines to keep in mind. The first deadline is the early application. So that is the end of August. So all applications that we receive by that deadline profit from a reduction of 10% of the tuition fees. So if you can, then we always encourage you to apply now. The final application deadline of the program then is the end of October. These are some of the upcoming events that we have now in the next month. So end of May 26 and 28, we are offering class visits at ETH in Zurich. So whenever our cohorts are having their classes, we offer these class visits that you as somebody who's interested in the program can join. You get to sit in a class. We pair you with students in the break. You can ask all of your questions and you get a really in-depth immersive insights in what's the EMBA X really looks like. So the next ones that we have are happening in Zurich at ETH, so 26th and 28th of May. So if you're interested, you can register directly for a slot that works best for you on our website. We are then also offering on May 30th then in St. Gallen on the Executive Campus an open day. So together with our Executive MBA portfolio, we are going to have a full day where you can also see the Executive Campus in St. Gallen. We're also going to have classes. During that day, we are offering an alumni panel with EMBA X alumni. There's going to be a session on the personal development program as well, and then also a master class in the afternoon. So if you are around, then we very much welcome you to register for these events, and we're very happy to then welcome you on both our ETH and St. Gallen campus. We have gotten to the end of this info session. Now we are opening the floor for all the questions that you have. Anything that we can answer for you still, please put your questions in the Q&A, and we're going to go through them right now. If you have any other questions, if you would like to have a personal one-to-one, that's also then something that we can always do after this info session. Okay, so we have gotten the first question. So does the EMBA program regularly accept candidates who are transitioning from a military career? So the program is open for profiles from all industries. As you also saw in the landscape, we have a variety of different industries. So what we really need and want is people that want to leverage on this combination of technology and leadership going forward. So if that is important for you, then definitely we also do accept then all candidates transitioning from a different career.
Yeah, we do have someone currently in the army, that it's doing on a parallel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. Yeah. We have another question on the essay. So I think you are referring to the impact reflection essay that is part of the application form. So in the impact reflection essay, we ask you to focus on an institution or a company that has had either positive or negative impacts on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. That is then also attached to your online application. All the info is then in the form, but also on the website. If you have any more questions, then I'm also always happy to, you can always reach out to me and I'm happy to assist you through the process.
There is another question, do you know? Judita, do you want to open your mic and tell us your question?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think, if it's a question, I think it's in the Q&A now.
Yeah.
If we accept candidates that are not working right now. So we do say that it is always better to, of course, be in a working relationship, just because you can really transfer the knowledge that you are gaining at the moment back to your employers, back to your teams. Of course, we look at this on an individual basis. We'll look at your profile, determine the profile fit. So I'm always happy to then discuss this also with you.
Depends, right? As you said, that it depends on the individual case. We do have some candidates or some participants that left their companies to fund their own companies, right? So they are starting a new business. So this is also a very huge opportunity for them to apply this knowledge. So yes, just reach out to us, have a discussion with the union. We are happy to look into this as well.
Yeah. And then a question on the references in the application form. So in the application form, you are required to put in the names and email addresses of two of your references, your referees. So they don't have to write a letter beforehand, but they will then, once you have put in their data, receive an email with the 4 questions then about you related to strengths and weaknesses, and they fill it out directly in the form. Yeah, we basically through the system contact them directly, and they don't have to prepare anything beforehand. We do always say to suggest to have somebody from your working environment, maybe your manager, a former manager, and then the second referee can also always be someone you have worked with closely, for example, in projects, or maybe somebody from an academic setting, and that's basically what we require for the references.
I think it's also important, one very interesting thing, right, Steven, is that our courses are, the most of them are delivered with more than one lecture. So we have a mixed faculty, also with the guest lectures that come from the industry, senior executives that are always brought in to bring the industry perspective or the corporate perspective as well. And the courses are really a mix between expertise from St. Gallen and expertise from ETH. And we try to do it also in a interdisciplinary way where we bring other lectures from different departments of ETH, but also lectures also from different institutes from HSG, from University of St. Gallen to deliver the courses as well.
Yeah. Let me then we have another question.
So there is another, yeah, you want to go ahead?
Go ahead, Anna.
So we have only 3 days online. Okay, so the majority of the courses will be in place. So in presence, as I mentioned before, according to those dates. So the modules, this is important to also to know, they take place between 4 and 6 weeks from each other, right? So we have enough time to go back to work and then take the 4 days or 3 days off plus a Saturday to come to the classroom again. And then in between, that means that the online sessions, they happen actually in the third part of the program where we work more with the projects, and those sessions are online that evolve around the project work.
Then we have a question on when the admission decision is issued, when to know when you are accepted. So after you have completed all the steps, everything is sent to the admission committee, and then it takes usually around, I would say, 3 weeks until a final decision is issued. And then you will receive all of the documents and the information then once around 3 weeks.
Any further question, comment?
I think what we're very excited to offer for next year is really these electives, but also the added flexibility that then also comes with that. So I think we have this amazing program, but now you are able to really, if there's topics that interest you more, to kind of have a more in-depth. Then also more courses that you are able to take with the electives, and that's something we haven't had in the past, and we're very excited to be able to offer from next year onwards. With the topic of flexibility is that, if for some reason you see that there's this 1 week that you really cannot come to campus that you would miss, then we are able to then, or you can then retake the course with the upcoming then cohort, and then we are just able to have this flexibility for you to then easily retake it then with the next year.
And Tayuna, just to complement the question that I answered before on the online and in-presence course, I believe that you were mentioning the online synchronous, right? We do have a lot of material that we deliver in asynchronous way. So for example, in the corporate finance course, I can give you this as a very good example. If you are someone who really wants to go more in-depth with the corporate finance, or if you don't have much background in corporate finance, we do have the specific EMBA X material that you can watch on your own pace before or during the course or right afterward the course that also provide you supported materials. So many of our courses also offer this additional asynchronous material on top of the in-class courses. So there's a question about the projects. Yes, you understood correctly. We have the smaller projects, as I said before, they take place within those courses, within the 3 days, like they are smaller projects. But the two large projects that really go throughout the integration or require this integration of the learners are two. The one is really in groups. So we take your cohort, we form groups of four, normally four, maximum five students, and then we assign you with one organization, as I mentioned before, to work on the sustainability and impact project. And then the other one within your company, but we also have many students that they decide to open or work on a new business idea. So this is also a possibility if you want, if you don't want, for example, to do a corporate project, as we call it, you can also do your own venture if that's something that is a plan of yours. We also have students that they also partner up with external organizations to help them in a challenge. So this is, let's say, the three types of projects that we have. And right now we do have a significant number of projects that are working with, developing companies with based on AI or based on new technologies. So we do have this kind of projects as well. So could you share a few examples of typical career paths participants pursue after the program, especially those coming from non-traditional business backgrounds? So there is, I would say, I can't tell you there is a specific path, right? There are many paths. So we have students that have, let's say they are in a corporate environment, they have a very senior position, and they decided they don't want to change industries, right? We have students that they stay in the same industry, but maybe they move from a very large organization to be, let's say, chief technology officer or chief medical officer in smaller or medium-sized companies or even in startups. We have students that really get promotion and take over roles with way more responsibility, right? We have, for example, I can give you an example, we have a student that was a senior manager at IBM Switzerland, and now she's the CEO of IBM Switzerland. So there are many different paths. What we do throughout the program is help you finding what you want to be your path, right? And putting in and connecting to the other question that is on top, that is how do we support candidates in expanding into roles beyond their original industry or functional expertise. This is very much related with the question before, that is throughout the personal development program, we work with you, right? Remember the individual development journey and career. So we provide you with the tools. We have workshops where you sit down, you have your coach. This is very important thing that I didn't mention, but we have leadership coach, certified leadership coaches to walk with you through the entire journey. So we had the students that took a lot of profit from this one-to-one coaching in identifying what they want, right? Do I want to be in the same industry? Do I want to move towards different industry, towards different specific expertise? So there is as Tayuna mentioned before, we have a very diverse cohort. We have from natural science and computer science until we have majors in management, majors in history, literature, so or finance professionals. So we do have this very broad range of industries and also broad range of career paths that they have and they follow. And our goal, as we see it, is really to give you all the tools for you to define for yourself what you want to do, what are the strengths that you want to foster, and how do you get to this point that you define for yourself. That's why we called those main workshops as the S-curve 1 and the S-curve 2. So what do you want to go moving, where do you want to go, what do you want to do moving forward. On top of that, as I mentioned, we have the career workshop sessions where we also discuss Swiss market, international market, how do you work with talent acquisition companies, leadership positions, how does the market look like, how do you position yourself. So we provide you with all these potential or these tools. And we also see that from the courses themselves, right? So students, for example, never had much contact with let's say with technology management and marketing, for example. So that is a course that it's really on the marketing side of technology management. And then they see that yes, they find out they have a lot of interest for this specific topic, and then they decide, okay, there is some overlap with my current work, or even I want to really be try another industry. And then from this experience with different topics and with different disciplines, they have new wishes that they have for their own. So there is a really a broad range of paths and potential possibilities for you to do or to follow it. Any further question?
So I will be reaching out to all of you in the coming days with the recording of the session, but then also to check in if you have more questions, if you would like to join an event. Yeah, I'm happy to then connect with you further after this session.
Yeah, my final words, Tayuna, is just that if you really are interested, join us, join Tayuna and ourselves in the campus visits. We have a very, very good experience with the participants or potential candidates that joined us. You not only have a feeling about it's not really about the content that you're going to see there, right? It's about talking to current candidates, meeting faculty, having really a feeling of what means to be in an executive program like ours. And this is, I think it's very important for you to decide that if there is something that you want to invest your time and your resources as well, right?
Yeah. All right, I think there are no further questions. And thank you everybody for joining. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, rest of the afternoon. And then, I hope to see then some of you in our upcoming events.
Thank you from my side as well. Thank you, Tayona, and hopefully see you soon. Have a nice afternoon.